Okay, hi. We're back. This is number 2 of the Oldsmobile project. Today is fun stuff. Well, not really, but it's a lot of cleaning, getting ready for paint. I'm going to work on rust proofing this pedal assembly, and then I'm going to get after the firewall. So in just a minute, we'll be starting. Alright, the first step is to try some of these bolts to see if they'll turn. With any luck they will. If not, I'll have to use a little bit of heat. You know, I'm not thinking that that's going to turn without at least some oil. And some possibility that it needs more leverage than this wrench. But, oh my God, look at that. It was a long time ago when I took a lot of this stuff apart. I must have already had this apart before. Thought for sure I'd be prying on this and getting out the breaker bar and all that. So the next thing I want to take off is this retainer that holds the brake light switch. So I'm going to hold that like that. Oh my God. My father was a Mopar mechanic, and so I grew up with Mopars. Oh my God, they were a lot harder to work on. I think that's part of the reason why GMs are popular. You know, things were interchangeable, they were easy and simple to work on. You know, some things are complicated, but most of it was, you know, very friendly to the regular person. And the last part is to take the pedal out itself, because I want to be able to get to everything as well as I can. Honestly, this is beyond good. So what I'm going to be doing is, you know, to clean this up, is I'm going to spray it with some, probably brake cleaner or something like that, maybe carburetor cleaner, whatever I have in my cabinet, to clean off, you know, like that penetrating oil that I sprayed on it, things like that. Then I'm going to get after it with a wire wheel, and then I'm going to just paint it with some rust treatment. This is going underneath the dash. I may hit it with some black paint after, but honestly, given what this is and where it goes, it's not really that. The lever itself I will probably paint, because that'll still be visible. So, as you see here, it's bone dry in there. And getting some grease in there when I put it back together will be a good idea. Now, with stuff like this, you could go aggressive with you know, the angle grinder and the wire wheel like this. But because the car is an antique, even though I plan on autocrossing it, which a lot of purists would say, what is he thinking? I still don't want to destroy the car. So I'm going to use something a little milder, just to, you know, one of those cheapy wire wheels in the drill, so that I don't end up throwing parts across the room and damaging them. Because those angle grinders, when they catch something, they can throw. It's surprising, actually. This can is about done. I'm going to have to grab another one off the shelf. Okay. So over here, take the drill bit out. See what I have for wire wheels kicking around. I'm pretty disorganized. Surprisingly, I'd put them away where they belong. You wouldn't think that would be funny, but I spend a lot of time looking for things. Okay, so I got a couple of okay, this is sanded down. Well, not sanded, but wire brushed down. In my opinion, well enough for what I'm doing. This part is never going to go bad. It's probably not in my lifetime. So what I'm going to do now is get ready to paint this with some of the rust proofing resources on something like this. So what I do, shake this up a little bit. It's just rust neutralizer, nothing fancy. I paint it on with a sponge brush because they're super cheap, and the one drawback to this rust neutralizer is it ruins the brush. So once you use the brush once like this, that's it. That's why I use these cheap sponge brushes from, you know, the local cheap store. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn it over, and I know that a couple of places are going to touch the table, so I'm just going to do this. There. So we'll see how I'll see how it looks once it dries. If I have to touch it up on the other side, I will. So in reality, because this is a rust neutralizer, I could have gotten away without actually even wire wheeling it, but I chose to do that anyway. The brake pedal, I'm probably not going to wire wheel that. I'm just going to paint it with this stuff so it'll treat whatever surface rust, and then I'm going to spray paint it black so that it looks like it's supposed to look. And that's going to be it. Okay, we're back. The stuff is dry now, and the paper did stick to it some. This is what it looks like after you put the stuff on there. You know, it's all not totally black, but this is pretty well protected. I will paint this, it appears, because it's not uniform in color as well as I thought it would be. But that's pretty well protected. This is the brake pedal after it's been done. It actually looks better. But the two of these will be painted up, and then I'll start reassembling it later on. Alright, this is where I'm at with the firewall. The next part of the job, I'm going to be doing more cleaning on the firewall and prepping it for painting it with the epoxy primer. And then after that is the steps, putting it back together. This concludes episode 2A. I'm going to have a 2B where I finish up this, and then from there on it'll be putting together for a while.